For the last couple of months, I've been rocking one specific iPhone setup that keeps people asking this one question. How the heck did you even set up your iPhone to look like this? Now, you see, your iPhone is this one device that gets used all the time every single day. And so a proper home screen is necessary to optimize your output. Why I have chosen this specific layout for my iPhone. This is based on a clean, minimal, and most importantly, efficient layout that doesn't involve endless swiping through pages, excessive icons, and notifications. This consists of a mixture of everyday apps and widgets that allow me to interact with my environment in a small but meaningful way. A good example of this is the addition of the quick access shortcut button to a Google Gemini on my lock screen. This helps me jot down ideas and capitalize on spontaneous thoughts on which I can develop later when I'm back in the studio. Now, for this video specifically, my iPhone is already set up, but I will guide you through my setup specifically step by step. So before we dive into the home screen setup, let's take a quick look at how I actually set up my lock screen. You see, the lock screen is actually more important than you think it is. Since our main focus here is productivity, here's exactly how to set up yours for success. Firstly, you want to start by choosing a simple wallpaper that doesn't evoke too much, whilst adding a little touch of color. I am currently using this one wallpaper from Pinterest, but you can use whichever one you like. You can also click on the spatial generator to add some 3D motion to the wallpaper for some extra depth. In my case, I have extended the size of the clock for a better view, and I have only kept the date on the very top of my screen. As for the widgets, I keep 3 of them here handy on the lock screen: my calendar widget, my weather app, and the active range meter for my car. These 3 live here because it helps me stay up to date on 3 specific metrics that I swerve by every single day. Now, for the 2 easy access shortcuts, I have kept the handy flashlight on the left side since I use it frequently, and have removed the camera one on the right, replacing it with a Google Gemini shortcut. Now, the camera is already easily accessible via the camera control button, so having Google Gemini instead is great for when I need more information on something. With the quick touch of a button, I can open Gemini and quickly get back into my workflow without any friction. And that's about it for my lock screen setup. A few things here and there that I use every single day, removing anything that will add digital clutter. Now, before we dive into the home screen setup, I want to show you guys a few housekeeping tools that will actually benefit this very setup. First and foremost, disabling notifications on most apps except the essential ones is key to staying focused. For starters, I disable notifications for most of my social media platforms, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. This way, the only time I ever interact with the notifications is once I'm in the physical app itself. Now, truthfully, this might seem as a very simple fix, but it actually helps a lot. And in the long run, you'll notice how much less you are frequently opening the applications. Since you're not visually seeing the notifications from the apps, then you are less tempted to open and check them. Another housekeeping tool is I also like to disable the Siri search bar on the bottom of your home screen. Now, this is to maintain a clean look, yes, but it also avoids you touching it by accident. The reality is this feature is already available simply by swiping down anywhere on your screen, so there's no need for this extra item on your setup. While you're still in the home screen and app library, go ahead and toggle newly downloaded apps to app library only. That way, when you download any new apps, they won't mess up your home screen setup. And keep all your other apps neatly tucked away in the app library. Now, with all that being said, let's dive right into the home screen setup. To begin your setup, I highly recommend deleting and/or removing any applications that you won't be using. Why would you keep them on your screen if you won't be using them anyway? Now, once that is completed, if you want to set up your phone in the same way as mine, you can take one app from any specific page, hold and drag to another page, and start fresh from there. Now, in my case specifically, my phone is already set up to the way I like it, so we'll go from here. A clean home screen is not only about deleting a few apps here and there. You see, it's actually about the intention behind your reorganization. The purpose and the functionality of your new setup comes from the result of this new change. Ever since I've had this layout, it has helped me stay away from time-consuming apps and focus on my important tasks. In my case, the result from my change was very clear. Less distractions on my screen meant that I was getting real work done more oftenly. Now you see, visual and digital clutter live hand in hand. For my case, I have removed pretty much all the apps minus the essentials. The trend with a lot of these videos seems to always become super expensive on why they have toggled a specific feature, removed that element, and so on. But in reality, you see, a clutter-free setup isn't just for the productivity sake of it. Being organized is simply a better and more efficient way to tackle pretty much anything in your life. Now, with all that being said, my home screen, it consists of 3 main pages. We have a page on the left, a page in the middle, and one more page to the right. Okay, so if you're carrying a smartphone and a laptop every single day, then maybe these accessories from Moft might actually be the perfect fit for you. Now, more specifically, I want to show you the Movas Moft case in combination with their new trackable tripod wallet. Now, the case itself provides that very popular tactile, clean, minimalist feeling that everyone has come to know and love. And when you snap on the tripod wallet on the back, it completely changes how you use your phone. Now, right off the bat, you know me, I'm an absolute sucker for matching accessories, and an all clean setup has always been my go-to. You see, now it functions as an ultra slim card holder with built-in tracking capabilities, so you never misplace your wallet. You can keep track of it right in your Find My app on your iPhone. It even features a loud 70 decibel alert when you press play sound in the Apple Find My, so you never lose it. This way, if you can't find your wallet, you can retrieve it just by following the sound. It unfolds in seconds into a rock-solid vertical or a horizontal tripod, so whether I'm jumping on a quick FaceTime call or filming B-roll on the go, it eliminates the need for any extra gear. Both the trackable wallet and the case for the iPhone support wireless charging to make the process easier. The multi-positioning of the stand is also great, providing variety, allowing you to consume content on social media more easily. You'll even find a dedicated shutter button when holding the tripod in vlogging mode. This way you can naturally trigger a photo or start a recording just by pressing the button. And that philosophy of multifunctional minimalism carries right over to my MacBook Pro. So for the last few weeks, I've actually been using this 3-in-1 carry sleeve for the MacBook Pro, which is absolutely insane. And let me show you why. It looks like a sleek, high-end sleeve during transit, but when you arrive at your workspace, it folds out into an ergonomic stand that elevates your laptop at the ideal angle for typing and airflow, while giving you a hidden storage space inside. Now, I will say, it's kind of rare to find accessories that not only match your everyday style, which is important, but it also gives you a new level of functionality, which kind of bridges the gap between making sense of buying these things in the first place. The simplicity and functionality of the Movas case, in combination with the trackable tripod, has made it super easy for me to keep all my stuff neatly organized. Now, I've featured other products in the past from Moft, and it's a trusted sponsor of the channel, and if I keep showing them to you guys, it's because I actually believe in the brand. I'm telling you, these products are of great quality, and I think the videos don't necessarily do them as justice, so you'll have to pick them up for yourselves to actually see what they're like. And so if you're interested, I'll make sure to leave everything in the description down below. Now, the home screen is my most used one, so whatever lives on the other 2 pages doesn't get used as often and doesn't need the same level of attention. Let's begin with the page to the left. On the top of the page sits a widget stack that I can use for quick access. For this stack specifically, I have removed Smart Rotate as well as widget suggestions. Both of these 2 features aren't necessary in my case. And so the 3 main widgets that live in this island are Calendar, Weather, and the Music app. The Calendar app is a non-negotiable. I write everything down in here to keep myself on track with all of my things. But you see, the Apple Calendar provides a level of familiarity that's easy for me to maintain and streamline my workflow. The Weather app is pretty self-explanatory. It allows me to glance at it quickly with a swipe. And lastly, the Music app. I can start my music from here and even go directly into the app simply by clicking on the widget. And that concludes this widget stack. It's minimal and simple, but collects some of the apps that I use on a frequent day-to-day basis. Now, below this widget stack sits another singular widget, and this one is for my car. You see, the BMW widget allows you to lock and unlock your car remotely, check where your car is parked, and even gives you a real-time tracker of your remaining tank range, so that way you never leave on low fuel. Now, this widget is pretty simple and actually kind of self-explanatory, but the reality is I end up using my car more frequently than I would like to admit, so having this handy makes it a frictionless setup. And so with this very first page completed, we can now dive into the main frame, the home screen setup. The home screen screen is defined by the idea of everything that's essential. This is where all the daily apps should live. Immediately you'll notice the linear setup of my apps. This not only looks better aesthetically, but serves as the main pillar of removing visual clutter. Most of these apps you'll recognize right away. Photos app as well as the Google Photos app. In fact, the Google's Photo app is actually great. I stored all of my photos from my old iPhone into the Google platform. That way I can free up storage space on this new phone. And being that Google provides multiple packages with storage options as well as AI capabilities for a really decent price, this was the ultimate hack to saving physical storage on my iPhone. Now, alongside the clock and the calculator app, which are pretty self-explanatory, I have two main folders that hold all of my other apps. These folders serve to store current apps, new apps that will eventually join the main page, and also preserve the linear aesthetic that I have going on. From all my socials to the Pages app where I script my videos, to all the accessibility apps from which I can control my studio lights, smart home appliances, and other things of that nature, everything lives within these two folders. Now you see, the reason why my social media platforms still live on my home screen is because I actually work with these platforms a lot more often than the average consumer. My work revolves around me posting content online, and so having quick access to these apps remains a necessity. But you see, having them in a folder, it makes them visually less stimulating and therefore visually less present. By having them smaller on the screen, they actually don't pop out to your eye as much. Very often, I will open my phone and not even realize that they are there due to their sheer size, which allows me to carry on with the main reason why I opened my phone in the first place. Now, I know it seems a little bit silly to just put some apps in a folder, but this is something that actually works for me. As humans, we're very visual, and so removing some of that friction visually can actually help you in the long run. And lastly, I have my three main Google apps that I cannot go a day without. And those are obviously Gmail, YouTube, and of course, YouTube Studio. As a full-time content creator here on YouTube, you can understand why that is the case. And so at the very bottom, I have my Messages app, Safari for a quick search, Music, and finally my Settings app. I've added the Settings app into this bottom four because I noticed I was using it more often than not. Now, to the right of my home screen setup actually lives a proper dedicated other page with multiple apps on it. On this secondary screen, I have a lot of the apps that I use more on a weekly basis rather than a daily basis. For example, I have my Files app on which I can share some documents between my iPhone and my Mac, the Pinterest app that I actually use regularly for inspiration, the Notion app, which is an essential for anyone that wants to keep things in order with all of their workflow, and other apps include PayPal for some quick money transfers, a currency converter that allows me to check rates on a day-to-day basis, and my trustworthy Google Gemini. Now, immediately you'll notice that this page also follows that simple linear setup that I have on my home screen. And that's by design. You'll also notice I have another widget stack on the bottom of this page, and this one serves a slightly different purpose. I have a Google Smart widget that allows me to quickly search something, type in Gemini, or even open my camera to ask what's in front of me. Following that, I also have the Smart widget for Claude, as the AI in Claude can offer me a different perspective than the one on Gemini. And you know what they say, often two opinions is better than just one. And that concludes the page to the right of my home screen. And if you swipe right again, then you are met with the app library. Now, I do want to grab your attention quickly to this one thing. I do indeed have a hidden fourth page. But you see, I don't keep this one in my main setup. On this page is a multitude of leisure apps, such as games and things of that nature. Now you see, this page only exists because, well, on the weekends, I typically toggle it on so I can benefit and take advantage of those leisure apps only in the moments where I actually can. Meanwhile, during the week when I'm usually working, I typically toggle this page off without having to delete anything. It simply disappears from my home screen. And so you see, being that iOS gives you that easiness and flexibility to do so, it just becomes a matter of touching the screen a few times to customize your setup. This is my everyday setup. Everything lives within a simple 3-page setup with the occasional 4th page on the weekend. Now you see, I rely a lot on my iPhone for my kind of work. In fact, it's super handy because I can quickly reply to a Gmail if need be, capture and develop video themes on the go with my Gemini assistant, and even make last-minute adjustments to my videos on the YouTube Studio app. so a clean, minimal setup like this one has aided my output significantly. Now with this video, I truly hope it has helped you set up your iPhone in the same way. And if you have actually copied my setup, then please go ahead and use it for a few days and come back to this video and let me know what you think of it in the comment section. I do want to give a big thank you to the team over at Moft for making this video possible. Leaving a like and subscribing is a great way to let me know that you've enjoyed. And on that note, I truly hope to catch you guys on the next episode.